Hi there. Hope everybody had a great May 2-4 weekend. The weather was absolutely stunning and continues to be so. We could probably use a few rain showers coming down on the positive side of things. So we do have vaccinations on the upswing. Hi, everybody. I'm Todd Smith, member of Provincial Parliament for Bay of Quinte and the Minister of Children, Community and Social Services. A lot of news over the last week coming from Queen's Park when it comes to COVID-19 and the reopening plan that has now been unveiled. And it's all dependent on those vaccines continuing to pour into the province and going into people's arms. So just this week, we passed the 8.5 million shots in arms, and we're about 8 million first shots in people's arms. A number of people have received both shots and they're done now, so they're free to go about their business. But we're at about 65% of individuals now, adults, with one shot. And of course, you probably heard the news that we've actually opened up vaccine bookings for children between the ages of 12 and 17 now. So if you want to book your child in to receive their first shot, you can do that at hpepublichealth.ca or the old standby, ontario.ca/bookvaccine. And you can get everybody 12 plus now is eligible to receive a vaccine and get booked in the system. I can tell you that this week I received my first vaccine out at Loyalist College. It was the Pfizer vaccine, and everything is running just as smooth as silk at Loyalist College. It's a great partnership that's been set up there at our regional immunization center with students in a couple of different programs at Loyalist College and our local public health officials at Hastings and Prince Edward Public Health. And I'll tell you, we booked a couple of weeks ago online, received our confirmation in our email. I went to Loyalist College, had a time to receive my vaccine of 1:10. By 1:10, I was actually sitting in a chair and having my first immunization. Sat there for 15 minutes after receiving the shot just to make sure everything was okay. And I was on my way and had received my little sticker saying that I had been vaccinated with the COVID-19 vaccination. So it really was that simple. And if you're having any problems at all, call my office and we'll walk you through the process. And the number to call at my office is 613-962-1144. So while vaccines are continuing to roll, and we have seen a lot more vaccines coming into Hastings and Prince Edward County. As a matter of fact, we even tapped into the provincial reserve to get more vaccines in Hastings, Prince Edward, to get more people vaccinated. So the numbers are going to continue to rise in the local region. And as I mentioned, the reopening of the province really is tied to the vaccination program. So to get into stage one of the roadmap to reopen, and all of the information on the reopening plan is available at ontario.ca/reopen. So if you're wondering about, your business, or if you're wondering about your place of worship, or if you're worried about your daughter's wedding, all of the information that you need is at ontario.ca/reopening. But to move into stage one, we need to have 60% of adults with one dose, and we've already surpassed that. But there are a couple of other figures to get us into stage one that are being taken into consideration. That includes declining hospitalization, particularly our ICU cases, and the percent positivity. And I'm happy to say that on all of those counts, we are making tremendous progress. So by early to mid-June, we should be into stage one of our reopening plan, which would allow larger outdoor gatherings of up to 10 people, outdoor dining of up to 4 people at your favorite restaurant, on their patio, of course. Essential retail capacity will go to 25%. All of those non-essential retailers, those small businesses that you want to get out there and support, hopefully you've been supporting them curbside throughout the pandemic, they'll have a rate of 15% occupancy. So you'll be able to go into your favorite little stores and buy some items. Outdoor religious services and those rites and ceremonies like weddings or funerals, you'll be able to have large gatherings outside as long as you can physically distance 2 meters. So you can have your wedding on a football field, and you could probably have several hundred people outside. There may be some people out there who would go for a wedding on a football field. I don't know, but anyway, there's so many other items that are included in stage one. Maybe mention, and I know Annie, who produces this segment, wants to go camping. So camping and campsites and campgrounds at provincial parks and all other campgrounds will be open in stage one as well. So hopefully that is the first or second week of June. It just depends on the number of individuals that we have with COVID in our intensive care units, and we're keeping track of those numbers. So very, very soon we should be able to get into that stage. Stage two is 70% of adults with 1 dose plus 20% fully vaccinated. So that's why it's really important that we continue to see this steady supply of vaccines into the country, and we're getting them into people's arms. And again, the folks at our local health units and our pharmacies are doing a great job. I should point out too that AstraZeneca, which was largely distributed through the pharmacy chains, you'll be able to get your second shots of AZ very soon. A lot of people didn't have their second shot booked when they went to the pharmacy. There were some questions about what we were going to do with the AZ, but the AstraZeneca will be able to use for second shots. So contact your pharmacy, find out when you can go in and receive your second shot. In the meantime, if you book through the public health unit, then you probably already have your second shot. And there's the potential, as things continue to roll in, that we'll be able to move those dates up. So you'll recall that NACI, the National Advisory Council on Immunizations, indicated we could spread out those doses by up to 16 weeks, so 4 months. But as supply comes in, we'll probably shrink that period of time between first and second dose. So stay tuned. You may receive an email letting you know you could come in earlier than when your second dose was previously booked for. So in the second stage, we'll see essential retail go to 50% capacity, non-essential retail 25% capacity. Personal care services will open at that stage. So you'll be able to get a haircut, get your nails done, maybe get a massage, all those kinds of things. There's a whole bunch of things. I won't get into all of them. And then stage 3 requires individuals to be 70 to 80% with 1 dose and 25% fully vaccinated. And by then it'll look a little bit more like Nashville or Dallas, Texas. We'll be able to get big outdoor events up and running. Maybe you'll be able to go see a Blue Jays game sometime in August this summer, and our casinos and bingo halls and those types of places will be able to open up fully as well with health precautions, of course. So the reopen strategy is on, and it's available for you to see. In the meantime, stay tuned. There will be news on schools coming. And I know a lot of parents out there want to get their kids back in school. And I'm hoping that there's going to be an announcement very soon. There have been a lot of conversations going on with the Minister of Education and the Premier and our entire team with health officials. Most of the health officials that we've spoken to really do understand the need to get the kids back in class for mental health issues and social issues and all of those things. So stay tuned. There should be some news on that. But in the meantime, go out and get your vaccination. It doesn't even hurt a bit. And well, Annie might disagree with that, but it go out and get your vaccination, and you can do that on all of those different portals or websites. But the most important one is ontario.ca/book vaccine. So until next time, I'm Todd Smith, the MPP for Bay of Quinte. Have yourself a great week, and we'll have another update for you next week when it comes to COVID-19 and Bay of Quinte.